and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome back into the deep end. Things are a little different this time. We have deep end now scheduled for Sundays at this 11 to 12 o'clock slot. So if you're used to hearing them on Monday nights, it's actually going to be changed over. These guys will be here for Sundays now. So we got Reagan Hinsey and Madison Ronquillo right here on 93.7 The Ticket. And guys, it's been a while since we've last seen each other. What's all been on your plate?
Oh man, tests, quizzes, practice.
Practice, yes. We had our first week of like full schedule doubles.
How'd that go?
Crazy. It went well. Like I'd say like it was pretty cool. Well, okay. It was nice to be able to go back into groups. So usually in the beginning of the season we do our conditioning. So it's like pretty general practices, doing a lot of stuff that you don't normally do during the year. So for me, that's a lot of freestyle aerobic, which
Gotcha.
is not my strong suit. And so, but we got through it, and now we're back into groups, and I'm back to doing backstroke every day.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
I'll take it.
we had our inter squad meet.
Oh yeah,
How'd that go?
It went okay. I swam.
Oh, did you actually?
I had to
did.
swim, and Ronk dove.
I dove.
How'd you guys do
Yeah.
in switching it up? Was it comfortable switching it up, or you guys had shaky performances?
Ronk, I give you a pat on the back because that was hard. That was difficult.
Well, what did you do?
I just did a 50 free.
But you.
I won.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, there you
She
go.
won for the cream team.
Everybody was saying I won a 34-22 on, was it short course meters?
Yes.
Which people were like, that's a very respectable time. But I was looking at the times of like the swimmers going, and they were going like 26s, and I was like, I don't know if that's really respectable, but I appreciate you being positive about it.
It was respectable. It was.
I walked out of the locker room after,
Mhm.
and Kate's mom was out there,
Uh-huh.
and she was like, Reagan, I think you got a career in swimming ahead of you. And I was like, man, I don't have that many fast twitch muscles in my body, so I'd be doing distance, and I really don't want to swim a mile. So
yeah, that's a whole other piece right there. Okay, but I got to give you props for the diving because I don't know what it was, but jumping off that board had me so sore the next day. And I only jumped off like 5 times.
yeah, I'm sorry, that one. Okay, what dice? You did a front 1.5 that
I
you
did.
just winged.
Yes, I
At-
told myself last second, I was like, I'm going to land on my head.
She practiced during practice. She did a flip, just a single front flip. In the meet, she goes, I'm going to do a front 1.5 and landed on her head. And I was like, ah! What are you doing? It was good. But, and then in the warm up, because I was like, Ronk, what's your other dive? And she was like, we have 2. And I was like, yeah, do you just want to do like a back lineup or something? And she was like, what is that? And I was like, I'll spot you. So she stood backwards, and I like held her back, and you just like look at your hands and fall backwards. It's just a back lineup. But
Mhm.
I think she tweaked her back on one, and I felt really bad because I think I caused it.
No, you didn't cause it. I'm just not flexible enough, and I'm old. So if I do anything different now, it just things tighten up. But it's okay. We're good.
How'd you doing your actual sport on the at the inter squad
On
go?
the actual side. I mean, it was good. It was fun. It was very different than what a normal meet is because, you know, we're usually warming up, cooling down in between events. But this time we just dry swam everything.
And I mean, it's usually short course yards.
Yeah, that too. So the times don't really, I mean, like they mean something and like we can kind of tell when times are fast or when they're not. But like for the most part, I'm like, I don't know. Like I think I went 105 on my 100 back. I couldn't tell you what that actually is. So it was more for funsies, and it was a good way to get the team like hyped up for the season and to just like cheer each other on,
Yeah.
but still have that competitive aspect since we are split up into Scarlet versus Cream.
And it ended up being a score of 89-91.
Oh, that's pretty close.
Cream team won.
Cream
Thank
team.
you. Yeah.
You guys are
team.
both on the cream team?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Not to toot my own horn, but I think me winning the 50 free
Just put us over the edge.
Was that like towards the end? Was that the seal?
It
that
was
sealed
the second to last event, I think. It was the swim. It was the diver swimming, and then it was the last relay, and then it was over.
Let's go. So was there like fans there that got to come and watch you guys and everything?
Our academic advisor came. Alvin.
Shout out Alvin.
Shout out Alvin. But yeah, no, there were a couple other people. Like, I mean, like Kate's parents and grandparents were there. Oh, and then Ellie's family.
Ellie's whole family was there.
Her whole family. So that was nice.
I
Yeah.
suppose probably wasn't as humid in there at least.
No. It was nice.
How long was that whole thing then?
Oh, it was like an hour and 15 minutes, like from start to finish. But like I had to be there at 2:30 for warm up. But
yeah, and like we did a whole hour long warm up beforehand, so it was just like a regular practice.
yeah,
Okay. So and then remind me. So when's your first real big meet again?
our first big meet or our first meet?
Well, we'll go first meet, then we'll go into the first big one.
Friday,
It's already this week.
Yeah.
the 7th.
Oh yeah, it's October.
It is
Yeah,
October.
I do remember.
Yep.
I gotta get used to that.
We're going against South Dakota State at South Dakota State.
Yeah, at least that's a short travel. Not too bad.
Yeah, it's just a day trip, so we'll leave at like 8-ish around there, because our meet starts at 4, and then we'll drive there, eat, warm up, compete, get back on the bus, drive back.
Yeah.
So it's a long day, but
A little business trip.
yeah.
So what does the practice schedule kind of look like when you start getting towards that first meet?
It doesn't change.
No.
Really, same thing. Just keep
Yeah.
it steady.
I mean, like the day before, we'll do our lists,
Mhm.
because usually, like leading up to season, we'll do Mondays and Wednesdays are fronts and inwards. So fronts are front spinning, and then inwards you face backward, but you spin forward. So they're still front spinning. So we do all our front spinning dives on one day, and then we do backs and gainers, which is our back spinning dives, the next day, and then we'll do tower. But since when we have dual meets the day before, we'll do what we like to call a round of golf, because we have 6 dives. So we'll do 3 rounds of our list, which is 18. So 18 holes, and like our coach puts on our replay machine, he'll score it like golf. He'll be like, that was a birdie or that was an eagle, and I'm like, yeah. So yeah, we'll play a round of golf on Thursday.
That'd be a good time.
Yeah.
You guys
Sounds
good
fun.
golfers?
Not even a little bit.
I can hit the ball like 50-50 chance. Yeah.
Take me to Top Golf and
Yeah.
see. But yeah, it's fun. It just consistency is key. So you just try to keep the most consistent list possible. But yeah.
Do you guys kind of feel like you're ready for the season to start? You guys, does the team look good? Like, do you have some confidence in everyone around you at this point that like this team's ready to go?
I think we're ready to go in the sense that like we haven't competed in so long that we're curious to know where we are, because like the difference between training and racing is so drastic sometimes. Like you could have an awful week of practices and like just not feel good, but then have an amazing dual meet at the end, or it could be vice versa. So I think just getting more experience, is just kind of what we're looking for. Because like I can, like personally, I can kind of feel when I'm itching to race. Like, when it's been like we've been training for so long, and I'm like, okay, like why am I so tired? It's because I haven't raced, and like I haven't had like the adrenaline rush or like the feeling of like, oh, okay, like this is where I'm at.
Yeah.
This is where I need to go, and now I know like what else I can add into my training.
Can you tell a difference between like meets at home and meets away, just from like personally sitting on a bus for 4.5 hours and then getting off and diving? It's really hard to get loose because you've just been sitting for 4.5 hours doing nothing. So it takes a longer time to get like warmed up and stuff. Is there like a difference between home and away meets in that sense?
Oh yeah, definitely. Especially the difference between like flying and sitting on a bus. Because sitting on a bus, you can kind of stretch your legs out a little more and you can kind of walk around.
Yeah.
But then flying, you are stuck and just sitting in your seat. And so that first like session in the water, like that first warm up is always so painful. But you can't give it like too much attention, because the only goal of that practice is just to loosen up, like you said, and to like finally warm up and get back to like you feeling like normal. So yes, I definitely feel it, especially when it's like dual meets and like you only have one warm up session
and you're still not warm by the end of the warm up session.
Yeah, and you're like, we gotta go now.
We gotta go compete.
Yep. So there's been a couple times where like my first race of a dual meet is just so bad because I'm not warmed up.
Yeah.
And like I still feel like tight from sitting around for 6 hours straight.
Yeah.
So
I'm not gonna lie, I'm very nervous for Friday.
Really?
Yeah. Just not because it is our first meet of the season, but because I do not like South Dakota State's boards. They're built on, like, our boards are concrete or have concrete stands. They're built on A-frames, which is just like the things you see at like rec pools and stuff.
Yeah.
And especially on 3-meter, if you have A-frames, they're really likely to shake side to side as well as up and down. So they kind of go in a little circle.
Yep.
And so
I know exactly what you're talking about.
yeah.
Looking at like the pool that we had at hometown.
Yeah, it's not fun.
So that's not, they can't, like they can still use that. I feel like
You
that
can
wouldn't be regulation.
Yeah, you can still use it. It's like you can still compete on it and everything. It's just not as stable as like a concrete platform.
Yeah, I feel like they definitely have an advantage
Yeah.
working on that board, especially if it's wobbly like that.
Yeah. Well, over the summer we train at Woods.
Mm-hmm.
And last summer the club kids had their qualifying meet for nationals there. And so it was all of the Nebraskas, all of the Colorados, Iowas, like Midwest, and then California. And so everybody came here. And the 3 meters at Woods, the A-frame on one of the 3 meters fell off during transit. So the 3 meter is quite literally crooked.
Oh.
And you still have to compete on it. So our kids had a massive advantage going into it because they had to practice on that all summer.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd say, like, if you're used to nicer facilities and you go to A-frames, it's definitely an adjustment, which is what you were saying. Like the one warm up is kind of hard to get to the adjustment point by the time the meet starts.
Mm-hmm.
So I do want to ask, what does your guys' routine look like for getting ready for an away meet? Like, do you guys, like, what do you like to kind of get up and do? Do you like to, get up super early, eat early, and then just kind of stay up, or do you like to sleep in? Just kind of what's that routine getting ready for that meet?
That's a good question.
Yeah, I feel like it's different every time depending on what the travel is like. So, like, for this week, since we're driving up straight to the pool and getting right in, I think the biggest thing for me is timing when I'm eating lunch on
Yes.
the bus, because like eating breakfast doesn't really have an effect, more so as lunch does, because it's the meal right before I race. So just making sure like that's time to where I eat about 2 hours before we get into the warm-up pool, and then during warm-up I'm like eating like an applesauce or
like a fruit snack.
Yeah, just like chewing on something sugary just to have my blood sugar up.
Yeah.
But other than that, in terms of food, or I mean, like, even when we do travel meets where we show up the day before, it doesn't really matter until like the next morning's breakfast. So like it's always the meal before for me that like matters the most.
Kind of piggybacking off of you, my main wow, that was a sentence. My most important thing is like hydration, because I have very bad migraines, and if like one of the main factors of it is dehydration, and I get dehydrated a lot faster in a pool. So if I'm not drinking water on that bus, I will have a migraine during the meet. So it's like, I don't want to get up 8,000 times to go to the bathroom on the bus. But then again, I also don't want to not, because when I get migraines, I get tunnel vision. And I don't want to not be able to see the end of the board during a meet. So
that'd be important.
Maybe just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
So yeah, I'd say hydration is my most important aspect.
So are you drinking water, or are you drinking like drip drop or like something?
I'll
extra?
drink water on the bus.
Okay.
And then I'll drink drip drop or like something electrolytes like after the meet.
Okay.
You guys do those Gatorade gummies?
Yeah.
Those work? I've never actually
Not
tried
as I don't do them as much anymore, but they do about the same as fruit snacks. They're quick energy. So
Okay.
Yeah.
What is that usually your guys' kind of post-game snacks, or what do you normally eat in between to give yourself energy or even after?
Mine is in between events. I like to do applesauce and a big jug of unsweet tea, black tea.
You'll see her carrying, especially on like invitationals and stuff. You'll see her carrying around a gallon, like
I remember,
like a baby.
I remember us talking about this. You
Yeah.
didn't get the sponsor yet. They're still working on it.
No, I'm still working. Except Nebraska does have a sponsor with them, because I did see their logo up like at the football game on the jumbotron.
Oh my god!
So I need to talk to someone. We're gonna get working on that.
So your in the meat snack is applesauce.
Yeah.
Mine usually is the Gatorade gummies, just because I can portion them out properly. So like on longer meets, I'll have 2, because they come in a pack of 6.
Yeah.
So I'll have 2 every other dive.
Okay.
So I'll have like 2 every 2 dives.
That
Since we
doesn't
have
get
6.
stuck in your teeth.
Not really. I mean, I'm drinking like 8 gallons of water during meets, so
Oh,
I have to go to the bathroom literally before every dive, and I'm like, I just went to the bathroom, but
not again.
Caitlin Carnes, am I saying that right? Is it Carnes?
Cairns.
Cairns. I
Yeah.
do that every time. Caitlin Cairns. She asked, do you guys drink coffee before you compete? I know you don't drink coffee really, period.
Mhm.
So probably more of a Reagan.
Yes and no. It has to be a certain amount of time before,
Mhm.
or I have to mix it with I have to have my coffee to water ratio on point.
Yeah.
Because last year at the Rutgers Duel, oh my goodness, my coffee to water ratio, because I drink cold brew, my coffee to water ratio was off, and I was tweaking on the board. Like, I was shaking. I could not control myself. I could not get balanced. So it either has to be like 2.5 hours before I compete, period, or a sip of coffee, a gulp of water or something like
Yeah.
that, because it's not going to end well if it doesn't.
It's a sensitive balance.
Yes. It's a science at this point.
Yeah, because you said you got the shakes right now because I haven't been drinking coffee this morning.
Yeah, I had a venti cold brew.
So you gotta get this. She's got the water. If you're watching the live stream, so now she's balancing it out. Because the coffee shakes are the worst. I do hate the coffee shakes, but I do it to myself. Can't drink a half pot of coffee. Let's see. Let's get to the text line here. Someone asked, "What's your pre-race routine look like?"
This was a question at a retreat on our Family Feud.
Oh, it was.
We have Scarlet and Cream team, and for the retreat, the game on Saturday morning was Family Feud, and so we had like a Google Doc of like name, mother's maiden name, go-to coffee order, what leg you put first on the start block, and
Hometown.
pre-race, hometown and pre-race ritual. So
Yeah. So what I wrote on mine was that like I like to like wear my parka and put on the hood, and then
intimidating
with like my goggles on so they can't see my eyes. And then I just like to like swing my arms and like, have you ever seen videos of swimmers like right before the races and they're like hitting themselves, basically like slapping their legs and arms?
Yeah, I actually have.
Yes. Okay. So like I have to do that too. Like I'm slapping my legs, slapping my arms, and
What's that for?
blood flow.
I think it's just like a way to like get out like the nerves, and you just kind of hit yourself, and I think it is blood flow though, and like just kind of shocking your body enough to get some adrenaline pumping
Getting her ready
beforehand.
for the water shock too, maybe.
Yeah.
I got no idea really.
Yeah, no, yeah, that's a good way to explain it. But yeah, that's my ritual.
Mine is usually the same for duels and invitationals, but since invitationals are longer, there's like more steps. So like duels, I'll just have my headphones on to where it's literally all the way up and I can't hear anything anybody is saying, and I turn around because I don't like watching other people compete. And then I'll just like jump around, stretch out, yada yada yada. But then at invitationals, I'll have my headphones on, don't watch, yada yada yada. I'll have my parka on too, but then since it's 45 minutes in between each round, I'll sit for like 20 minutes and then I'll like swing my legs. Like you'll see me like run back and forth, like do our arm swings, like dynamic beforehand. And then I'll go over there and talk to my coach and be like, all right, I'm on gainer 2.5. And he'll be like, okay, step and stretch, yada, yada, yada. You got this. Fist pump. Let's go.
All right. With that being said, though, we are getting up to our first break here. This is the Deep End. I'm here with Reagan, Madison. I am Harrison, and we will be back at 937 The Ticket after this.
Eustace Body Shop, where our customers send their friends. That's the greatest compliment we can receive. If you've been in an accident, we'll get you back in your vehicle as quickly as possible. Our technicians care about you and your family and repair your vehicle to factory standards. We handle your claim from start to finish and provide a free loaner car. Stop by for a free estimate. Eustace Body Shop, just south of 88th and Highway 2.
The most recommended Eustace Body Shop. That's who we are.
I'm Smokey Bear, and I made an assistant to help you out, because only you can prevent wildfires.
Hey, Assistant Smokey Bear, call me Papa Bear, because I'm grilling up dinner. You get it?
Yes, good job.
So, what should I do with all these coals?
Don't just toss them out. Put them in a metal container because those embers can start a wildfire.
I understand. The stakes are high.
Ha, 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 ha.
Learn more at SmokeyBear.com.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
As an 18-year-old, I let my mistakes kind of take over my life. I was 0.5 credits away from completing high school, and I didn't do it.
10 years later, at age 28, Jackie finished her high school diploma.
When I found out that I was pregnant, I know that I had to do something for myself if I wanted to make her a better person and provide a better life for her. My family never stopped pushing for me to be better because they knew what I could become and who I could become as a person. My support team is amazing. The educational director, my sister, and even my 7-year-old daughter has just been more than the support that I could ask for. I've been given an opportunity, and I'm just thankful for it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
If you or someone you know is having thoughts of suicide or experiencing a mental health or substance use crisis, call 988 for free, confidential, and compassionate support. On July 16th, the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline is transitioning to 988. There is hope. For 24/7 support, call, text, or chat 988.
Sponsored by Nebraska DHHS, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
If you came across someone struggling with hunger, how would you recognize them? By their clothes, their age, the way they speak? Would you notice a 16-year-old boy who got his first job,
not for extra spending money, but to help feed his little sisters?
or a mother who's in between jobs and sometimes goes to bed hungry so her kids can have dinner? Or a 14-year-old girl who signs up to every after-school activity, not to make friends, but just to get something to eat? Or a retiree who fell ill and had to choose
between getting medicine or groceries.
I am the 1 in 8 Americans who struggle with hunger. People you pass by every day but never knew were hungry. I am hunger in America.
Hunger can be hard to recognize. Learn why at IamHungerInAmerica.org. Brought to you by Feeding America, 200 Food Banks Strong, and the Ad Council.
Hi, this is Pastor Tom. Did you know there's a place kids can seek out help when they're away from home and something goes wrong? They find themselves in a difficult spot or even a dangerous situation. Maybe another child is bullying them or a stranger is following them. Perhaps on a date and things just go bad. In Lincoln, here's where they can find help. It's called Safe Place. Safe Place is a national program for children taking place in thousands of cities across the United States. The People City Mission is sponsoring this program in our community and has set up a number of businesses, fire stations, schools, and nonprofits around the city to become safe locations where kids can seek out help. They just need to look for the big yellow sign that says Safe Place on it. Then go inside and ask for help. We will be quickly connected to them and ensure they make it back home or to whatever resources are needed. If you'd like to find out more about Safe Place and ways in which you can get involved, just go to pcmlincoln.org. Remember, when we all do a little, we change a lot.
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. What about those round trips, which are perfect on your way there and perfect on your way back? Or those meetings with friends, surprise parties, camps, birthdays. The same way you plan for the important moments, start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Sign up for local weather and emergency alerts. Prepare an emergency kit and make a family communications plan. Get started at ready.gov/plan.
Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
As an 18-year-old, I let my mistakes kind of take over my life. I was 0.5 credits away from completing high school, and I didn't do it.
10 years later, at age 28, Jackie finished her high school diploma.
When I found out that I was pregnant, I know that I had to do something for myself if I wanted to make her a better person and provide a better life for her. My family never stopped pushing for me to be better because they knew what I could become and who I could become as a person. My support team is amazing. The educational director, my sister, and even my 7-year-old daughter has just been more than the support that I could ask for. I've been given an opportunity, and I'm just thankful for it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Back to the deep end with Reagan and Madison on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right. Welcome back to the Deep End on 93.7 The Ticket. I'm Reagan Hinsey with Madison Ronquillo. If you would like to call in, we have the Honda of Lincoln hotline at 402-464-5685. And if you'd like to text in, we have the Starter Hammond text line also at 402-464-5685. And if you would like to see our beautiful faces, we are live streaming on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, and Discord. Wow, I haven't done that in a while.
Wow, good job. Go Reagan. So, since we are at a different time frame this week, we figured we should probably reintroduce ourselves so that you guys can know exactly who we are, besides just swimmers and divers, or a swimmer and a diver.
Yeah.
Okay, but I'll go first. So, I grew up in Tracy, California, so Central Valley, NorCal, farmland, very flat like here. I'm a 5th year. I'm majoring in nutrition science. And my high and low for the week. So my high was that I completed my first interview for an anesthesiologist assistant program this past week. And ironically, it was with Indiana, and we just played them yesterday. So how ironic. And then my low was probably I don't know. I was just really tired this week. Yeah. Like I tried taking an exam on Canvas, and I literally had to like submit it, take a nap, and then retry again just because like I could not think straight and my eyes were literally going cross-eyed. So yeah, that was my low.
Okay. I'm Reagan. I'm a diver. I'm a music major, specifically vocal performance. I'm a senior, kinda. I'm a sophomore in my program, but I'm a senior, like age-wise,
athletically.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'm from Houston. High and low. High for the week. Well, we won, so that was cool. But I also got a 99 on my piano test, and I definitely missed more than one note. So either she just like ignored it, or like she was like, it's fine. And then low. I don't know how long ago, if this was before or after our last show, but I'm just gonna say it anyway. I had a cold a couple weeks ago, kind of still do. But I went to the store and I got some like Thermaflu. And before practice one day, I accidentally took the PM version of the medicine.
Oh wait, I remember you telling me about this.
Instead of the daytime version of the medicine. So I was like, man, I know I'm usually tired because I'm taking 10 classes. So I'm like, I know I'm usually tired at practice, but I'm never this tired. And then I took the daytime when I went to bed, and then I didn't realize until the next morning what I did. And I was like, oh, that explains why I was so drowsy. But yeah.
Nice. Harrison, high and low.
We'll go high. We'll just say Nebraska winning, because I feel like that's finally just a big relief right there.
Yeah.
Nebraska finally beats Indiana 35-14, I think was the final score. Just really need to get that one, finally get things on the right track. I think everyone's with me on that one. It's a lot nicer coming in today on a Sunday after a win. For the low, I'll just say, I don't know why. I don't know what day it was. I think it was Wednesday of last week. I thought I was going to be sick. I didn't think I was going to be able to come into the station, or no, it was Tuesday, because I was just like puking in the morning from like probably since around like I felt fine, went up, ran some errands, got home at 11, and I puked a few times. Took a nap, and then I woke up at 3 o'clock, and I was like, I feel fine. I'm just going to go to work.
Oh,
it was bizarre. I didn't have a fever. I didn't have anything else. So I don't know if I just ate something bad, but it was one of the weirdest illnesses I think I've ever had.
Yeah.
Super short lived, and then I just felt immediately fine after I took a nap.
Weird.
I'm guessing I ate something.
Yeah. Like mini food poisoning.
Yeah.
We were talking about that yesterday.
We were?
At the houses after the game. We were talking about food poisoning because, Molly's a food science major, and people were like,
yeah.
How does that work? And she's like, I actually had to take a class on this. But
yeah. Oh, yeah, because we had a recruit this past week. Or recruits.
3. Oh, yeah.
We had 3.
Did you guys have to like recruit them, or not? Well, I guess not recruiting, but did you have to show them around and everything?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How'd that go?
It was, I thought it went like pretty smoothly.
I feel like it was one of our most successful ones.
Yeah, because like on Friday night, since it was homecoming week, we took them to Cornstalk on campus, and it was they had like a homecoming parade. They had like a Ferris wheel and like that other ride where it spins,
like the spider thing. I don't know.
Like the whole thing spins, but then
Yeah.
there's 3 other things that like spin itself.
The octopus is what we called it. At
Yeah.
our county fair.
Yeah,
It's got a
like-
bunch of different names, but
Yeah.
I think everyone knows what it is.
Exactly. So they had that, and then we took them to the Husker Hoops opening night.
Oh, how was that? I heard the crowd was kind of dead at first. Did it fill up?
Well, during the scrimmage, it was all just a bunch of kids. It was a lot of kids and families, and so like
Okay.
it wasn't really like too loud or anything. But Waka Flocka was there on the sidelines, and he was taking everybody's B-reels. Like people would throw their phone, he would take a selfie and he'd throw it back.
That's hilarious.
And he probably did that for like an hour straight. So he must be a really nice guy to have the patience to do that. But after the scrimmaging was done, I had left, but we had some teammates. Were you? No, never mind.
Were I what?
Were you there? No,
Where?
you weren't there. At the opening night, the Husker Hoops.
No, I
opening.
went to a symphony.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I couldn't tell you how it was with Waka Flocka was there because it started getting late. I was like, I want to go to bed.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I heard good things. They
Yeah.
did say though, they were like, parents, this is a PG-13 show. Please be warned. Because it was like little kids running around.
Oh.
So I couldn't imagine them being with Waka Flocka performing on the stage.
We walked into practice the next day, and Landon was like, Kelsey, how was the concert? And she was like, it was good. And he was like, what's your favorite song by him? And she was like, the one everybody knows. But yeah.
I also was the Jumbotron not working for a little bit? I saw a tweet about that when they were doing like the hype videos for the players.
Oh yeah, it wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't on, and so they had this little. Okay,
I heard it was behind them. Or
it was
something.
behind the court. So the court goes like this, right? And then on like the north side, they had like a mini stage, and then there was a smaller screen behind it. So it was kind of
okay.
weird having their hype up video on there, and the volume wasn't very high, and then like the lights were only coming from that side instead of the whole arena like usually.
Okay, I'm guessing they
So-
probably wanted it on the Jumbotron. It just wasn't working. They probably wanted it on both.
Yeah.
I would think because, like
Yeah.
you said, it was super quiet too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
Weird.
it was interesting. I'd never been to one, so
I haven't been to one either. Was it cool?
yeah. I thought like it was gonna be more like them playing each other. I mean, they did do
Yeah.
a little scrimmage, but it wasn't very like official. They did do a 3-point shootout.
Ooh.
That was cool to see.
Who
Them
won?
They did like multiple rounds, and it was like the girls team versus the boys team. So like the first time the girls won, the second time the boys won, third time I want to say the girls won again. So yeah, it was cool. Interesting.
Yeah.
What'd you give the concert? 1 out of 10.
Oh, I didn't see any of it because
Oh,
I
okay.
left before because they finished the basketball part and they're like, all right, it's gonna be about 30 minutes before Waka Flocka comes on, and at that point it was like 9 o'clock, and I was like, I have 6:30 practice tomorrow.
Yeah, Madison's a grandma when it comes to bedtime.
Yeah, so
And then you weren't there, Reagan. You didn't go to that one.
No, I went to my friend had an extra ticket to the symphony at the Lead Center, and she was like, "Do you want to go?" And I was like,
Oh.
"Yeah, I want to go," but I was really underdressed because we went to Cornstalk beforehand, and I was like, "I really don't want to go to a symphony in leggings and a t-shirt," so I put on jeans, and I walk in there, and everybody's in suits and evening gowns, and I was like, well, I feel bad. I was really close to the front, so everybody could see what I was wearing, but it's okay.
Nah, it's fine.
Yeah. There was a I might nerd out for a second if that's cool.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. There was a 2 pieces and then an intermission and then one more piece and it was done, but the one piece was 50 minutes long. And I thought I was going to hate it because like 50 minutes long, that's like
It's a long time.
And so there were 5 movements. And while it was like going on, I was reading like the program notes about it. And apparently the inspiration for this piece was the composer didn't get a letter back to him in the 1800s. Like he sent a letter to a girl and the girl didn't send one back. And so basically he wrote a 50-minute long piece about like, I was like, dude, this is like medieval T Swift. Like, let's go. And the first 3 movements I thought were kind of redundant. They all kind of sounded the same to me. But then I was reading like I said, the program notes, and the 4th movement, like apparently in the 1800s, like opioids were huge.
Yep.
And so he went like the 4th movement was when he was on opioids, and you can tell like there was a completely different sound, and it was like about his dreams while he was on opioids and stuff. And then, which I thought was like weird, but I was like, this sounds kind of cool. I kind of like this. And then the 5th movement was called like the witches come on the day of Sabbath or something. And so it was like, the violence would be like something really quiet. It would be like, and then everything would stop and all you would hear were death bells. Or like, and then the tubas would just be like, bum, 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 and just like start playing like the death hymn that you hear at funerals and stuff.
Mhm.
And I was like, oh, wow, this is morbid, but I kind of like it. This is kind of cool. So I thought I was going to hate it, but I actually really enjoyed it. So, yeah.
Yeah. That was
Sorry.
actually a pretty good summary. No. I was intrigued. That actually intrigued me a little bit. The fact that you could hear the difference in music. Because like you see that a lot with a lot of artists as they get older, their music style changes. But a 52-minute piece, you can literally see it happen in real time.
Yeah. And I don't know. I thought it was funny that he wrote this because some girl didn't write it back.
Yeah. So was the lead like packed out?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yeah. And my conducting professor was sitting behind me. And so he tapped on my shoulder and he was like, I hope you're taking copious amounts of notes for your report. And I look at him and I go, we don't have reports for this class. And he goes, I know, I'm just giving you a hard time.
Aw.
But I actually had a lesson, like a conducting lesson with him earlier in the day. And he was like, so tell me more about yourself. And I was like, I'm Reagan. I'm from Houston and I'm on the dive team. And he was like, oh, I do triathlons. I have such respect for swimmers and divers. And he was like, wait, do you have like double duels? And I was like, you know what that is, but yeah. And he's like, can I come to one? Like, he's like this 60-something year old man. And he's like, can I come to one of your meets? And I'm like, oh, yeah, you can come. It's free. So he might be at our double duel.
Oh, wait, that's so cool.
Yeah. But then I was talking to him after he said the notes comment, and I was like, why aren't you up there playing? Because he plays viola. And he was like, I actually just retired. Like, I was first chair viola for 26 years. And this is like my first concert not being up there. And I was like,
that's sad.
I know. I was like, is it weird? And he was like, no, I actually really like it because like usually your like eyes are only on the music and the conductor. And he was like, but now I can just see like everybody invested. Like some people had their eyes closed and were just like taking it all in, and some people were like leaning on the edge of their seat. And he was like, I just love being able to watch everybody. It was so cool. And I was like, you're such a pure soul. That was so cute.
Oh, wait, that's so cool. So then, what symphony was this? Like a local Lincoln symphony, or was this like
Lincoln Symphony?
Oh, okay.
How many places that people pack? I don't think I've ever been there.
The Lead Center?
Yeah.
Oh, it's huge.
Really?
Yeah.
2,000-3,000 people?
Yeah.
Oh, how much was it to get in there?
I got a free ticket.
That's what you said. You got free. Do you know what the actual ticket price was?
I have no idea. But like,
I feel like it'd be probably worth it to go in there.
Yeah.
After hearing about it.
Yeah. A lot of the people were like older because the symphony's the place to go for like older people in Lincoln, I guess. But I had a really fun time. It was good. So
yeah,
right.
That's where we had like our night at the Lead at the end of every year, and
our athletics banquet.
Yeah, and they make it like super fancy looking, and it looks like a legit theater, like since they have like Broadway shows come through and stuff.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So
I'll have to check that out.
Yeah.
With that being said, though, we are getting up to our next break. This is the Deep End on 93.7 The Ticket. I'm here with Reagan and Madison. We will be back after this.
I learned patience from my adoptive dad. All he had to say was,
hey, you got this. Just breathe. Hey, we're pretty good.
Yeah.
Might have to start a band.
I got it.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org to find out more. This message is brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
Papa, why can't we telegraph while riding a horse? Son, there ain't no one to blame but Jeffro. He was riding old Betsy the Stallion, tip-tapping away at his telegraph, when blam, ran right into the side of the saloon. Well, if Jeffro can't do it, neither should you. Don't text and drive.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration,
Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Early break with Sip and Jake.
I'm sick of the chaos.
Yeah, I am too.
But some people love coaching searches. Like, they love it. It's just fun for them. Some people would prefer that to having consistency and success, which is odd to me. But if you like chaos, that's your own thing, man.
I used to think that was about 3% of the
it's
fan
more than
base.
that.
Yeah, I'm going more toward 25% now.
Early break with Sip and Jake from 6 to 8 every weekday morning on 93.7 The Ticket.
Don't you wish your life came with a warning app?
Stop. That dog does not want to be petted.
A heads up before something bad happens.
You should not send that text.
Uh-oh. Life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. With early diagnosis and a few healthy changes, you can reverse prediabetes and prevent or delay type 2 diabetes. To learn your risk, take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
Veterans, do you know what local, state, and federal benefits and services you're eligible to receive? Do you want help navigating the application or appeals process? Speak to your county veteran service officer or the Nebraska Department of Veterans Affairs State Service Office to see what's available to you and your family. You've served our country, now let us serve you. Visit veterans.nebraska.gov today. Sponsored by the Nebraska Department of Veterans Affairs, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
My simple solution to the problem was remove people from the scene and help them feel safer.
In response to attacks against Asian Americans, Maddie Park raised over $250,000 to donate cab rides to the Asian community.
There is so much more work to be done. We really need to come together and tackle this issue as a community.
Support the Asian community. Learn how at lovehasnolabels.com. Brought to you by Love Has No Labels and the Ad Council.
What I know about courage, I learned from my adoptive mom. She said sometimes you just gotta hold on and know we'll get through this. Mom, we are so high up. Hold my hand.
No, you hold my hand.
Here we go.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org to find out more. This message is brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket.
Okay, playing 93.7 The Ticket.
Alexa, turn down the lights.
Dimming the lights.
Alexa, order a pizza, the big one, all the toppings.
Are you sure that's a good idea?
Alexa.
That's a lot of pizza for just one man.
Alexa, just do it. Stop judging me, just do it.
As you wish.
Thanks, Alexa. You're my best friend.
Part-time job, full-time hustle, all-time Shiro to all of us. You nurture, we listen. You teach, we thrive. You lift our spirits, but we've got to lay down the truth. It's time for you, our Shiro, to stretch for the stars. Start saving more for retirement now, so you can feel prepared and live your life to the fullest. Get free tips to help boost your retirement savings now at aceyourretirement.org/Shiro.
A message brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Back to the deep end with Reagan and Madison on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Alrighty, welcome back to the deep end on 93.7 The Ticket. If you'd like to text in, you can go ahead and use the starter Hammond line at 402-464-5685. Or if you'd like to call in, you can use the Honda of Lincoln hotline at the same number, 402-464-5685. If you'd like to see our beautiful faces, we are currently streaming live on YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, Discord, and I think that's all of them.
What did you say?
I said YouTube, Twitch, Discord, Facebook, Twitter. Twitter!
Got him.
I always forget Twitter. I think it's because I don't have Twitter. That's why. I used to have Twitter, but then I deleted it because I could never, okay, so you know how, your feed gets, just, random stuff gets thrown on there besides the people that you follow?
Yeah.
Well, I'd never get funny stuff, and it'd all be, serious stuff, and it's like, okay, I don't want to read this.
You can make pages, though. Now.
Pages?
Yeah, basically just, you can select people that only that feed has.
Oh.
I still never use it, so I don't really care that much to set it up, but
Yeah.
it is a little different. To be honest, I only have Twitter for my job. Not super big on it either.
Yeah. I have Twitter, but I don't go on it. But I have like the notifications on for it just in case, like, I don't know, somebody tries to contact me or something on Twitter. And so since I don't go on it, I'll get notifications from Twitter of like things that they think I'm gonna be interested in, and I never am. So it's like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm kind of that way. Like I'll see a tweet that I am interested in. And it's like, oh my gosh, Tua just got knocked out in the Dolphins game.
Dude, that was so bad.
Yeah, but then I have to see that same nasty replay for solid. I don't know. I'll just keep scrolling my finger on Twitter, and it'll just be posted over and over and over and over again. And it's like, I don't want to see this anymore.
That was so bad.
Yeah, it was on replay at training table too.
Yeah.
And I was like,
That's one thing with Amazon Prime. I was like, stop showing this. Like, I don't think anyone wants to see this anymore, let alone the family watching.
I can't imagine. Well, first of all, I can't imagine how he feels, but I can't imagine the person that tackled him. I can't imagine how he feels.
Yeah, I hope he doesn't feel bad because it wasn't his fault.
It wasn't his fault.
It was just
because didn't he hit his head last week?
Yeah. So the argument is that he had like basically his back is messed up. I think they thought it was like a pinched nerve or something at first because he was kind of losing his balance. And then I don't know if you like pinch a nerve, sometimes it can jar you a little bit. But I mean, he was definitely wobbling. So that's why a lot of people think he shouldn't have played. He should have been, held back another game. Because, yeah, after this game, I mean, as soon as he got hit in the back of the head, or when the back of the head hit the turf, I mean, yeah, he was out. Just immediately seized up. So I don't know. What's happening right now is everyone's pretty much saying that they followed the right procedure. So it's kind of telling everyone that the procedures probably need to change a little bit.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where we're at, I think, with that whole situation.
What are your thoughts on it? Like, do you think he's done?
No, I mean, the fact that he was able to ride back with the team on the same night, he'll be back. I don't know when, but I don't think his career's over by any means.
Okay, because I've just seen a lot of comments being like, his career's over. And I'm like, I don't know what to think. Like, I don't really want to think about it.
Yeah.
That was scary.
I mean, maybe 20 years ago, but I feel like with just surgery and us being able to understand what's all going on, he might be able, unless it's like significant, like really dangerous, whatever he's getting hit on the spine, whatever is happening up there in that nerve around his, like, if it's just a concussion, it's just hard to say right now. He's pretty beat up.
But I mean, I read something that like in today's day and age, the amount that we know about the brain now is the amount that we knew about the heart in like 1965. So like
that doesn't surprise me.
The brain is still very much unknown territory. So
that's why I didn't like people calling out the Dolphins too much. Because I was like, if they just followed procedure and they got the green light, like, hey, it wasn't concussion, like this happened and that's why he was just getting up a little wobbly. It's like, I mean, if you follow the procedures and you like the head coach isn't an expert on brain matter, he's just going to listen to what they tell him to. You have to go through that third party. So if he just said, okay, I listened to them, it's just a tough situation. You know, hard to read. But I guess we got a couple minutes here. What do you guys kind of want to wrap up on here? What do you got upcoming on the schedule? You got this Friday and then just practice. What are you kind of building up for this week to get ready for that Meet Friday?
Well, okay. So our season starts this Friday, and then we have the double duel at home the next Friday, Saturday, and then we have the duel at Iowa the next Friday. So it's kind of like back to back to back.
Oh, you guys are jam packed then for this
Then we have, I think we have a couple weeks off or something of meets
after
Iowa.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's just kind of, I don't know, getting mentally prepared to just go for 3 weeks. I guess is going to be the hardest aspect of it because we're going to be tired. Like, it's just going to happen.
You're going to have to keep on school too, which is going to be tough.
Yeah. So it's just kind of like for me, it's kind of keeping like a glass half full mindset on it. Just being able to be like, okay, like one day at a time, it's going to be okay. Like, I know I'm going to be absolutely exhausted by the end of the Iowa meet, but then we get a couple weeks off of competition in that like mindset. So yeah.
Yeah. Going off of you, just like taking one thing at a time. Cause like, it's not good for you to focus on the dual meet that we have. Like even as far as out the one taking place on Friday versus like 2 weeks from now. So just one day at a time, taking every practice, taking as like, okay, what do I need to do in this practice? What do I need to practice? What do I need to think about? And then go on from there.
Yeah.
Real quick, someone asked, what's a double duel? Just before we get out of here.
Oh, double duel is when we have a dual meet on Friday and a dual meet on Saturday.
against different teams.
Perfect. All right, that's it for us. This is the Deep End. That is Reagan Hinsey and Madison Ronquillo. I'm Harrison Arns. We will see you guys next week on Sunday now from 11 to 12. So that's it for us. Have a great rest of your Sunday.
See ya.